Hey, Mortgage Coach community, Dave Savage here, and I am with Paul Sushereba. What's up, Paul?
How you doing, Dave?
Doing good. So I've had you on a bunch of calls. We did it. We had an awesome time at your big sales rally this year for Prime Lending. Thank you for all the value you bring to the community, and thanks for all the leadership you bring to Prime. So I am reaching out to people that are just killing it. You know, folks that I know are among the most successful in the country, and I'm just, what are your challenges, and how are you using Mortgage Coach? But let's start it with telling everybody what market you're in, how many units you're doing on average per month, and then let's get into challenges of Mortgage Coach.
Yeah, so I'm over in Dayton, Ohio. Nice little Midwest market. Monthly doing 15 to 20 units a month. We'll hit 250, 260 this year. So definitely busy.
That's definitely busy. And what are some of the biggest challenges in 2017, and anything else that's different about this year versus last year in your market?
There's two major differences this year in our market from last year. One is inventory. We just have none. When I started, we had 11,000 homes in inventory. We have 3,800 right now in inventory for the same time of year. So we have a major inventory problem. That's creating a lot of immediate need from a buyer because they see something hit the market they like. There's probably 17 showings the first day it's on the market. That home will not last 2 days.
Wow.
So we're talking about instant response time is almost mandatory for a buyer to make that decision right now. That's one of the challenges.
Got it.
The second challenge is refis have almost gone away with the rate movement up in our market. We have one big player, one of our major competitors is a refi-driven shop and has a small bit of purchase business. They are coming out in full force and driving low-cost purchase business. Now, it's definitely the low-cost alternative. It's the Walmart to my Fleming's. But it's definitely a rate environment now as rates continue to move and be much more mobile than they have been in a couple of years.
All right. So let's do this. I've done a lot of calls on the low inventory challenge. By the way, I'm going to put a link to the Bill Hart strategy. And I don't know if you watched that video, but about the dual market. And, we've talked a lot about that, the move up analysis.
Yep.
I actually led I spoke to a group of loan officers today, and I said, hey, what are your challenges? And, rate shopping was a big one. So we talked about, how to convert. And I've talked about that a little bit in these Skype interviews, but let's hear it from you. What are you doing as a mortgage coach to improve your conversion? And we're not going to stop rate shopping, but what can we do to win the rate shopping game?
Step one for me is to not really talk rate. They don't bring it up. Number one, I don't bring it up. If we get into that rate environment, I'm trying to get off that rate conversation as fast as possible. And I'm always trying to explain why we can't shop just by a rate. What I really want to do is focus on, okay, let's take a look at the houses you're looking at. Let's add some color, some commentary around the loan strategies we're going to implement. I want to be a consultant, not a sales guy. So I try to drive them back to various loan options as opposed to rates and multiple house usage of Mortgage Coach. So today I had some guys in my office actually right before we started this call, and we're going through some possible loan options. One of my favorite strategies is to show them lender-paid mortgage insurance. So we actually took and we were able to cut their payment by about $180. Credit was mediocre by increasing the rate. But you just tell somebody, hey, look, the 5 1/8 is going to be a whole lot better for you than the 4.375. And they're going to look at you like you're nuts. So the core piece of everything I do with Mortgage Coach for myself is about education. That is the only way I could imagine to actually show them over the 20, 30-year difference, the higher rate's actually cheaper till year 22. And we were able to do that analysis and have them understand why that higher rate was better. Completely eliminating rate shopping from the other guy, because now we've talked about why rate doesn't matter for them. And this strategy is actually a better option for them. So that was piece one.
So two things. One, if you could forward us a sample of that total cost analysis. I mean, if you want to duplicate it and create a different name around it, would love to hear what you do in a video, because I know you're providing commentary for your clients and value. So, folks, in the description underneath this, in the YouTube channel you're watching it, look for a link to Paul's example video, and I'm also going to put a link to the Bill Hart dual market strategy, because that's just big with the low inventory situation. Okay, so my takeaways from that is, you're not talking rate, you're talking strategy, and you're talking total cost over time. So you're basically changing the game versus other loan officers. Any other tactics or strategies as a mortgage coach that you're implementing?
The other piece that I do is you get a lot of people that come in and they think they know what they want. So I talk a little bit about my background. My master's in financial analysis. So I have a strong master's degree that hangs on the wall that really is a sales piece for me more than anything else, because it lets me buy a little bit of credibility. So I take that and I pull the mortgage coach in as an analysis tool. And I don't call it a quotes tool. I don't call it a presentation. I call it an analysis tool when I talk to clients, because what we really want to do is analyze which options are going to be better for you. So if we don't have the rate options, a lot of what I'll do is down payment options and show how small of a difference there can be between a 10 and 20% down loan, and try to drive opportunity cost of the money left over with the reinvestment piece. So we want to use the reinvestment analysis to look at an average stock market. And okay, great, you're cashing out of your house, you're going to have $60,000. Why do you want to put 20% down? Why not take some of that $60,000 and throw it into your investment account? Let's invest it properly. Let's take a conservative approach and invest it at 4 or 5% and out earn the rate of return or the cost on the current mortgage. And we net that out with taxes and have a conversation about opportunity cost and the best use of our money. So again, we're completely talking about a non-mortgage piece there to turn away from the rate discussion. But we're taking the mortgage out of the silo and we're looking at the whole financial picture. And that, I think, adds value to the clients, much more so than somebody going out there and taking an approach of taking the order and trying to close the loan on the cheapest rate.
So, by the way, I love that. And again, not everybody on the call has a master's in analysis. But by the way, everybody on this call, if you're a mortgage coach, you are a master in mortgage analysis, and you have the ultimate tool. So at the end of the day, it's about being an advisor, being a coach, being a consultant. It's about asking great questions and then putting an analysis together, a total cost analysis to help that family make a great decision. By the way, one thing I also want to put down in the link below is I interviewed Paul for a full hour last year. I think it was called The Modern Mortgage Professional with Paul Sushereba. Check that out. I mean, it was a full hour interview. You crushed it. It was one of the top 10 interviews of 2016. So out of 52 interviews, you were among the absolute best ones, most watched. And so, Paul, any last words of wisdom for the mortgage coach community? Anything else that you think that folks should be doing when it comes to winning the rate shopping game?
When it comes to winning rate shopping, there's three things. Focus on the client and consult to find the absolute best option for them, because most clients are going to feel that. They're going to connect with you better, and then you're never going to get shopped in the first place to have the rate conversation. Number one. Number two, everybody gets a mortgage coach. $60,000, $50,000, $300,000, $500,000, whatever that is, take the time to invest in it, make it part of your process. Once it flows, everybody gets it. Everybody gets the same experience. Your realtors will notice that. And that also helps with the rate shopping game, because now you're getting that strong push from them. So
love it. So folks, watch another one of our real world scripts in the YouTube channel. Share this with your team. Share this with pretty much any mortgage friend you have who you want to help. And then also, if there's someone you think I should be interviewing and bringing these best practices in, if you are someone that I should be interviewing to bring this out to the mortgage coach community, reach out to me, David Mortgage Coach, or just comment below. Make sure you like this. And Paul, thanks for taking time, brother. Appreciate all your leadership in our community.